If they will find, they will force him for the arranged marriage as they are looking already.
And it's out. Rishi had been trying so hard to hide the fact that his family were trying to arrange a marriage for him. But, oops, it's finally out in the open. And Jen was never going to take this news well.
I am disgusted. I have no tolerance for someone who lies to me.
That might be the case, Jen. You might have no tolerance for lies. But unfortunately, this isn't the only lie you're about to discover this episode. And boy, does it make for entertaining viewing.
At this point, I am tempted to tell his family the truth.
So let's rewind back to the start of this episode. We left Jen walking out after a meltdown in the Indian garment store. After refusing to go and meet his family and essentially giving Rishi an ultimatum to either tell his family about her or end their engagement, today Jen's stance seems to have softened.
Rishi called me and asked me if I would still go meet his family today and told me he got an outfit. So I told him to come over, bring the outfit, and I will go meet his family.
And to think, I was so proud of Jen for standing up for herself in the last episode. But now, here we are, and she's immediately backed down. Why? Well, Rishi's genius plan is to doll Jen up in Indian clothes and parade her in front of his family as a friend. And that's it. That's his genius plan. At least that's what we've heard so far. I suppose he thinks his family are just going to magically be okay with them being engaged after that. Sounds like a great plan, Rishi.
I'm going to introduce Jen as a friend. This way they can get to know her. This is our best plan, but it's little dishonest. As you like, the solid color with no print.
I love it. You nailed it. Like, that's awesome.
I mean, at least he knows what she likes, but this plan is still destined for failure. Haven't we learned anything from Jenny and Sumit? Dressing Jen up as an Indian lady isn't going to make Rishi's family okay with the fact he's secretly gotten engaged to an older white lady. But regardless of how Jen's feeling today, it seems Rishi isn't that happy with her behaviour either.
I'm still a little upset that she behaved last night. I didn't expect from her.
I call bullshit here. How could Rishi not expect that from her when there's literally footage of him telling the camera he's been avoiding telling Jen about the arranged marriage proposals because he knows she's sensitive and she'll be upset. So when she proceeded to get upset last night after he casually mentioned it, that shouldn't have been a surprise.
Jen doesn't know my mom start to look some girls for arranged marriage with an Indian girl. I don't want to share anything about this to Jen because she's little sensitive.
I got confused because you told me that your family could potentially force you into an arranged marriage if they found out about us.
It's obviously a sensitive topic for them, but Rishi explains to Jen that he was only using it as an example of what could happen. He's lying to her face and we're all watching it happen. We all know that Rishi's mum has already started organising families from Jaipur to come and visit their home and meet him with a view to getting married.
Worst case scenario, they are like, no, we don't like her. We do not want you to marry her.
I will tell them I just want her or not. There is no other option or nothing.
Ding, ding, ding! Correct answer, Rishi. You've said exactly what Jen wanted and needed you to in order to feel more comfortable about moving across the world to be with you. But do we really believe that he'll choose Jen over his own family? A family that we know he's the main provider for? Yeah, I'm doubtful.
But it is reassuring to have Rishi tell me that he would choose me over his family.
Is that really something to feel good about, Jen? Do you really want to tear away the man you love from his family? And look, while their relationship is far from perfect, some more cracks have appeared overnight. Jen, walking out on Rishi, seems to have given him real cause for concern. He's now worried that when things get tough, she'll just do it again. And one thing's for sure, he knows things are about to get really tough.
It's worry me that Jen will walk away in the future when we are facing some more difficulties.
Rishi's childhood friend, Sanjeet, is joining them for lunch with the family. The hope is this will make the whole scenario less suspicious. He's one of only a handful of Rishi's friends that actually knows the true nature of his relationship with Jen. But Sanjeet doesn't seem too convinced that this plan will work.
This sort of meeting, or do you think it's normal?
No, it's not normal. I'm damn sure they will gonna suspicious actually.
Finally, someone who's speaking sense. Of course his family is going to be suspicious. I don't understand how Rishi can't see that. Is he just being delusional because the truth is harder to face? The reality is, Rishi's mum and his uncle are highly unlikely to accept Jen as his fiancée. But regardless, it seems like Rishi has lost track of how many lies he's told. And one by one, they're all coming to light, starting with the arranged marriage proposals.
If they will find, they will force him for the arranged marriage as they are looking already.
Oh dear. Talk about bro code. Rishi must have forgotten to give Sanjeet the heads up before the meeting. Remember how we were just talking about Rishi being scared of the tough times ahead? Take a look at Rishi and Jen's faces the moment that Sanjeet spills the beans. I think those tough times are officially here.
You told me, I told them I would not do an arranged marriage.
I told them that I will not marry anyone until I find someone.
Rishi is now in damage limitation mode. He tries his best to explain to Jen that this is normal in India. Indian parents feel like it's their duty. They need to find their kids a partner, especially if they've reached a certain age and they're not married. But Rishi wants Jen to know that it's not his fault and he's not the one actively encouraging it. How true is this? Well, at least from what we've seen on the show, Rishi has been very non-committal with his mum about these meetings.
It just recent, a month only. But I didn't tell you this thing because I think it become more worse between us.
Just look at Sanjeet's face. I can't tell if he's having the time of his life watching this disaster unfold, or if he's feeling super awkward, stuck in that room with the two of them. But here's the thing. Who's going to tell Rishi that being scared of the consequences of lying isn't a good reason to keep lying? I don't think that's going to be good enough for Jen, especially given what we've been told about her terrible relationship history. I don't get the impression she's going to put up with that again. Now, Rishi claims that his family have only been looking for a wife for him for 1 month. Remember that, okay? 1 month.
Lying, even if it's a lie of omission, is a bad move. But regardless of how angry I might be, I'm still proceeding with the plan to meet Rishi's family.
Jen is fuming, but this has just taken place right before Rishi's family are expecting them to arrive. There's now no way to cancel without it being incredibly rude. So Jen has no choice but to squash into this tiny rickshaw with Sanjeet and her lying fiancé and head on over to what's probably going to be the most awkward meeting of her life.
I'm still angry, but I'm also really curious. I want to see what they're like, how they react to me. I mean, these could be my future in-laws.
And it's awkward. It's really awkward. I knew it would be, but even I feel truly unprepared for how awkward this has turned out to be. Meanwhile, Sanjeet is having the time of his life. He's laughing in the background like only a best friend could. I mean, you can be sure that this is a story Sanjeet is going to be dining out on for years to come.
So I tell my family that right now she is here, so she want to visit and she want to meet you especially.
अब इतनी दूर से आई हैं वो हमारे अजीब बात तो है वो तो.
So Rishi hasn't told his family that Jen's moved to India. He's just told them that she's visiting and that she wanted to meet them. Now, I don't know about you, but if that was me and some holidaymaker had just shown up in my living room, I'd have a few questions to ask. Like, what are you doing here? Why my house? So, despite trying to claim that he's keeping it casual, Rishi seems to have made a big deal of this meeting. His brother, his uncle, his mum, his sister who doesn't even live there anymore, they're all in attendance. And it's his sister who finally addresses the elephant in the room.
She is asking why you are here.
What a coward. Look how Rishi is so happy just to throw Jen under the bus. He passes the question over to her instead of just answering it himself. Poor Jen is left to try and stumble her way through an answer. She explains that she's just moved to Jaipur, and although Rishi's family are like nodding along, I don't really think they're buying what she's saying.
I was shocked to see Jen because nobody comes home to meet formally, especially from abroad.
Okay, so if you were Jen right now, if you had to keep a low profile, you had to keep suspicions down, what topics would you avoid at all costs? Personally, I'd steer clear of any mention of marriage, but that's just me. Jen doesn't seem to have the same qualms.
You need to find this one a wife, maybe find this one a wife. Like, how quickly are you looking to find wives for your son? Because maybe I can attend 2 weddings in your family.
Jen really thinks that she's being clever here, doesn't she? But at this point, she may as well get down on one knee and propose. It really is that obvious. And Rishi's family are throwing some concerned glances. But it looks like Jen has got a new agenda for this lunch. She's going to use her undercover character as Rishi's friend to grill his mum into giving her all the information that Rishi has been hiding from her.
Have you found any potential wives for Rishi yet?
इसके लायक कोई अभी तक ढूंढ ली क्या आपने कि मतलब कुछ मिली आपको कुछ?
Rishi looks like he's terrified. He's having a heart attack next to Jen. Jen is coming in red hot, and Rishi knows he can't do anything about it without completely giving it away. Yeah, serves you right, Rishi. That's what you get for having a terrible plan in the first place. Either way, it seems like Rishi's uncle and his mum are happy to answer all of Jen's questions. And they share that while there are marriage proposals coming through, as of yet, there haven't been any good matches for Rishi.
Jen, just shut up your mouth. Don't make things worse.
लड़की हाइट में छोटी होती है तो कोई पढ़ी लिखी नहीं होती है.
Okay, maybe there's a glimmer of hope here after all. They want tall? Well, Jen's got tall. They want educated? Jen did go to college. Yeah, I think we can maybe say that checks out too. Although, from the way she sometimes looks when she spaces out, I do wonder. And her decision to ask this stuff does have me questioning her intelligence just a little bit. But Jen's nosiness is coming in handy because she's about to catch Rishi out in yet another lie.
Since when did you start looking for a match for him?
हाँ 2-1.5 साल से हो गई देखते हुए तो.
Well. It's funny how your lies have a habit of catching up with you, isn't it? Rishi had told Jen his family had only been looking for a potential wife for 1 month. Now she finds out the search has been going on for almost 2 years.
Did they start looking, I don't know, 3 months ago, 2 months ago?
No. It's just
1 month?
recent. It's just
How
recent.
recent?
A month only. It's quite awkward for me to translate the question that Jen asking. But honesty is the best policy.
His lies are beginning to be exposed like a cheap toupee in a windstorm. It's a comedic tragedy unfolding before our very eyes. Yet, despite this, Rishi still has the audacity to say honesty is the best policy. Now at this point, Rishi is stuck between a rock and a hard place. We know that other members of his family speak good English. He's got no option but to accurately translate what's just been said, even if that means exposing his own lie in the process.
She's been looking from 1.5 years.
Okay.
But she didn't find anyone.
Because of the situation, Jen can't react to this as she'd like. But believe you me, I have a feeling this is something we're going to hear a lot more about in the future. She's not gonna let this lie, and to be honest, she's actually doing a very good job staying somewhat composed, given inside she's probably bursting with rage.
I am disgusted. I have no tolerance for someone who lies to me. At this point, I am tempted to tell his family the truth.
But despite her temptation to tell his family, Jen realises that if she were to do that, she's basically doing Rishi's job for him. She's looking for a man who will move mountains for her. But Rishi seems like a liar who has the courage of a mouse. And that makes me wonder what else he's been lying about. His 2 years of celibacy, perhaps?